In this video, I'm going to be talking about how to overcome adversity. Look, a lot of us has faced adversity in our lives. How do you overcome it? How do you handle it? How do you deal with it? Right? First of all, what is adversity? So look, it's a very difficult situation. It's having misfortune or hardship. It comes from the Latin word which means opposition. You're moving in a direction and you get hit with an opposition force. Maybe you suffer some losses. Maybe some different things happen. Now you're faced with a hardship. How do you overcome that? How do you handle that? How do you deal with it? That's what we're going to talk about in this video. So I get asked about this subject a lot because like you, I faced a lot of adversity. Look, I grew up in West Africa during a civil war. My childhood was war. People dying all around me, all that stuff. That's how I grew up. And I came to America and I even had a woman I was engaged to not show up on our wedding day. Tons of adversity, man. And then you have people get hit with 2020, you had government shutdown, you had COVID, you had job losses, relationship losses, divorces, all of these different things people are having to deal with. So I want to help you handle that. I want to help you confront that. And in this video, I want to show you different things you can do, steps you can take of how you can go from whatever adversity you're facing today. Doesn't matter what it is, whatever adversity you're facing today, how you can go beyond it and how you can overcome it and how you can even turn tragic into magic. How you can take something that's an adversity and turn it into a phenomenal story that will actually help a lot of other people. When facing adversity, you got two options. You can give up or you can rise up. You can succumb to the adversity or you can survive. Those are the two options. So my mission with this video is to help you to rise up, not succumb. I don't want you to succumb. I don't want you to give up. I want you to keep fighting. I want you to keep pushing forward because you can overcome whatever it is you're dealing with right now. You can overcome it if you stay in the fight. So I want you to only think about rising up, not giving up, only rising up because I believe in you and I want to show you different things you can do to help you do that. So the first thing is awareness. When you're in a difficult situation, first thing you got to realize is, look, something's got to change. And I want to commend you for watching this video. Anybody that's watching this video means you have a recognition that, hey, something's got to change about this situation I'm facing, I'm handling. So it starts there. That's the beginning part of it. You being aware of creating some forward motion so that you can change whatever condition you're in is where it all begins. Having awareness. Number two is you got to have courage. Courage is vital when you're trying to overcome adversity. So what does courage mean? It means the choice and willingness to confront agony, pain, danger, and uncertainty. The courage to do that, the willingness to do that. Look, it's not easy. It wasn't easy when the woman did not show up on our wedding day. I had to confront that, right? I had to have the courage to look at that and be willing to do that. I had to have the courage. It takes a lot of courage to rise up when you don't even feel like rising up, when you don't feel like sometimes getting out of bed, dude. It takes courage to freaking get out of bed sometimes. When you are in the midst of crazy things happening, when you're suffering a loss, when you've had failures, it takes courage. So I want you to realize that I am very proud of the people who take the courage to go out and face something, who have the courage to step forward and say, hey, I'm going to do something about it. It takes a lot of courage. Don't let that get lost on you. It does take courage to face your problems. It takes courage to handle things. It takes courage to run through obstacles and adversity, right? So here's why you need a lot of courage. Number three, you got to confront it. You got to confront whatever it is that's going on in your world, whatever's happening, whatever obstacle, whatever adversity it is, you have got to confront it. So what does confront means? It means you have to be willing to face it and accept it. So look, my brother died at 25 years old. My younger brother died at 25 years old. He's crossing the street in the middle of the day, gets hit by a car. I get a call from my older brother. He says, hey, Andrew got hit by a car and he died. Out the blue, right? So my younger brother's 25 years old. He's not sick. Just talked to him. And I get a call from another brother, your brother's dead. How do I make sense of it? First of all, I didn't even know how to accept it. So I'm walking, I actually parked my car and walking into my house and I get this call. I talk to my brother And before I get to my house, I actually collapse. Like on the side of my house, I collapse. Boom. I didn't know how to take it. My body went into shock. And the only thing I could say to myself was, dude, just get up and get in your house. So I had to like pick myself up off the floor after a few minutes. I ran into my house. Closed the door. I'm like, dang. And when my older brother called me, he said, after he tells me what happens, he says, okay, now it's your job to tell the other people. I had to call some of my other siblings and let them know. I had to confront that. It wasn't even real to me yet. I'm like, how does something like that happen? So I had to accept it. I had to face it. I had to acknowledge what occurred. I couldn't deny that happened. And that became the reality. So whatever reality you're facing, whatever thing is happening in your world that's throwing you off, that a hardship you're dealing with, a misfortune, something bad happened, something negative happened in your world, in your universe, you got to confront it. You can't handle something you're not willing to confront. You first got to confront it. That's why before you got to have courage. It takes courage to confront stuff. It took a lot of courage. Dude, it took courage to confront that my brother was in the casket. Tremendous amount of courage. Dude, I did not want to confront it. I did not want to do that. So when you're facing something difficult, the only way through it, the only way to move beyond it is you got to confront it and go through it, right? So you got to be willing to confront that, and that does take courage. But you will get through it. You will get to the other side. I promise you, right? My brother's funeral was one of the toughest days of my life. Everybody's crying. I had to give a speech. I'm crying doing a speech. I can't barely get my words out. It was crazy. So, but I had to get through it. I didn't think I was going to get through it. I didn't think I was going to make it through it. It was difficult, but yet I still got through it. And you can too if you have that courage and willingness to confront whatever it is you're going through. Accept that thing occurred. When the woman did not show up on our wedding day, dude, throughout the day, I was getting a sick feeling in my stomach because she wasn't there. I had relatives there showing up and all this stuff, and she wasn't there. Throughout the day, I just kept feeling sicker and sicker and sicker. I had to confront that she's not coming. So I can laugh about it now because I'm beyond it. But I had to confront that she wasn't coming. She wasn't going to be there. Okay, so whatever the thing you're dealing with, if you confront it, the sooner you can confront it and accept it, the faster you can actually start moving beyond it. And that brings me to the next point. Number 4, take responsibility. I want you to understand, first of all, taking responsibility does not mean you are at fault. Does not mean the thing that happened was your fault. Okay. Taking responsibility means you recognize and accept that you're going to be the cause of moving beyond it. You're going to be the cause of that. You're going to accept responsibility for that. You're going to accept responsibility for that forward progress, that motion, that overcoming, whatever it is you need to overcome, to handle it, to deal with it. You're going to take responsibility for that. And this can be tough. Something bad happens to me. Dude, how do I take responsibility when I think something was done to me? Right? You can't change what happened. Only thing you can do is take some responsibility and say, look, I'm going to be the cause of this thing moving forward. I'm going to be the cause of overcoming this. I'm going to take some positive steps and positive actions so I can get beyond it. So you can either be the effect of adversity or you can be the cause of rising above it. Anything that you want to do, you got to accept responsibility to be the cause of that. You got to be the cause of something. The cause puts things in your control, under your responsibility. That can be tough, dude. That's why we talked about having courage. It takes courage to have responsibility. But if you want to have control over where you're going to go, how you're going to do, the success you're going to create, the story you're going to tell about overcoming this particular situation, you got to take the responsibility for it. Nobody can take the responsibility for you. You got to do that. And that takes confronting that fact, and that takes having courage. So I want to encourage you, stay with me through this video, and you'll learn additional things you can do that'll move you beyond all of this. So We're on number 4, take responsibility. Very, very important part to do. And it can be hard, man. I understand. It can be tough. Because look, when the woman didn't show up, I was like, hey, what did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? Was it my fault? What happened? All these different things. Dude, she didn't even give me an answer for like a week. She went silent. Couldn't even communicate with me about what occurred. So my mind's going crazy. I had to end up taking responsibility for how I'm going to move beyond this, right? And so that's what led me to being able to make forward progress on that. Number 5, I want you to remember you are powerful. You the person, not your circumstances, not your adversity, not your failures, not the things that have stopped you, none of that. None of those things are more powerful than you the person. And when you're going through adversity, it can be tough to feel powerful. Dude, I'm getting my ass kicked. Life is kicking my ass. How do I feel powerful when life is kicking my ass? I can't win. I'm having lots of failures. I got failures over here, failures over there. These bad things happening to me. How can I feel powerful? So here's an exercise you can do to actually make sure to remember that you're powerful. I want you to think about a time, any period in your life, doesn't matter when, it could be a kid, can be as an adult, whatever it is, when you were in the zone, when you were doing something right, whether it was playing sports, whether it was talking to a girl, man, you got the girl's number, the conversation went smooth, whatever it is. Whatever the thing is, you were on fire that day. You were telling jokes, all your jokes were landing, people were laughing, people loving it. Whatever that is, you felt great and radiant. You felt powerful, strong. Remember that. Always go back to those incidents when you felt powerful, strong. Remember your power. It's going to remind you that you are not the sum of these little things that's happening to you, these obstacles, these adversity, these mishaps, these misfortunes, this hardship. You're more powerful than that. And let me give you this piece of information. If anything stops you, you are admitting that thing is more powerful than you. That's why you got to remember that you're powerful. You're more powerful than your circumstances. You can overcome all your circumstances if you recognize your power. And it goes back to you looking at areas where you were winning, that you were doing well, that you were in the zone. That is going to keep your confidence high. Write some of those things down. Anytime you felt like, hey, I was in the zone and this, doesn't matter what it is. Look, you know one thing that boosts my confidence. When I was a young guy, I liked a lot of girls, right? So I had this streak I would go on, and I was like, every day I'm going to go out and I'm going to get a girl's phone number. And I had this long streak, man. And I sometimes go back to that. I'm a married man. I think back to my youth when I was like, man, how did I create that? How did I go out every day and I'm like, man, I'm going to meet a pretty girl today. I'm going to get her number. And I had this streak. It doesn't matter what the thing is, whatever it is that makes you feel powerful. Whether you close the sale, you close the deal. I closed my wife on marrying me. Dude, that was an awesome transaction. So you gotta recognize whenever you feel powerful, whenever you feel strong. Think about the time where nobody could open the jar in your house, and they brought it to you. Hey, Dad, can you open this jar for us? And you're like, yes, son, let me open this jar for you. And you twist, you're like, damn, I really got to open this jar now. So you like twist it, you like put all your strength into it, boom, you open this jar, and you're like the hero. You're like the hero jar opener, right? You feel powerful, man. You're the only guy who can open a jar in the house. Whatever it is that make you feel powerful, ladies, whatever it is that make you feel strong, confident, powerful. Maybe you killed a presentation. Maybe in real estate, you closed a deal. Whatever the thing is that makes you feel powerful, jot them down. Go back to those images and regain your power. And you start to feel that sense of confidence. What's happened is when somebody facing adversity, your confidence can be shot. Your confidence may not be working so well. You don't feel as confident. You just suffer some losses, dude. You're like, damn, what's happening to me? You got to regain your confidence. And you go back to the times when you felt powerful. Your confidence matters. When you're going to, look, your confidence to overcome the adversity is going to be vital. Remember your power, man. You are powerful. Remember that. Say it to yourself. Don't get down on yourself. Say it to yourself. Write those things down. And I promise you, you'll start to feel more confident. And you'll start to feel more certain about your ability to overcome whatever it is you're having to face and deal with. Number 6, write down your goals. So look, here's why a person gets stopped, right? Person's going along, something comes, remember, adversity is an opposition. Boom, something hits you, knocks you off course, right? If you don't continue to write down your goals and remember your purpose or where you were going, it's going to be very difficult to get back on track. When you have losses, remember where you're going. When you have losses, remember where you were going in the first place, what you were trying to do, where you were trying to get before this thing knocks you off course and you're like, oh, okay, well, maybe I need to take a shortcut. Maybe there's a different way I can go. Look, when I was engaged to get married to the girl who didn't show up on our wedding day, my goal was to start a family, to be married, start a family, do these different things, right? Boom, she does not show up. Right, dude, clearly she doesn't want to marry me. And then I should not marry her because she does not want to marry me. So that goal got diverted. Doesn't mean I didn't want to still have a family. She just wasn't the right person for me to have a family with. I kept writing down my goals. I kept writing down my goals of what I wanted. A good relationship. Somebody that could be my partner in life. All these different things. And today I have that. Great wife, got a great son, you know. I'm not a perfect dad. I still try to work on all that every day. It's part of my goals. So you got to write down your goals of what you want to do beyond this adversity. You got to see beyond that. And you writing it down continues to make it real. When you write it down, you're saying, hey, I am this. I am this. You got something you want to deal with your fitness, your health, your finances, whatever it is, I am this. Write it in the present tense. And you'll continue to have that propel you. Writing down your goals pulls your attention away from the negative stuff, the adversity that's happened, onto where you're trying to go. Right? That part's very key. So after you write down your goals, next thing you got to do is you got to get in action. Action, movement, something's happening, right? So if you want to feel good, produce something. If you want to feel good about yourself, produce something. Doesn't even have to be something big. You make your bed, you just produced a well-made bed. Any area you go to where the morale is low, right? You go to an organization, a team, a group, whatever it is, and the morale is low, it means production's not happening. People aren't producing, right? What do kids produce? Think about it. What do little kids produce? They produce smiles on adults' faces. That's what they produce, dude. They're tiny human beings. They can't make a lot of stuff. They make a little drawing. Dude, it's an ugly drawing. They scratch all over the pages. They don't color in the lines. They're like, hey, look, mommy, look what I did. Mommy smiles. Hey, the kid produced a happy effect in an adult. So you got to look at that and it's like, hey, I got to get in action to produce something. Producing something is going to make you feel good. It's going to make you feel better, right? That's the basis of you feeling good. That's why if somebody doesn't feel great, people will get up and they'll clean their house. Okay, what did I produce? A cleaned house. What did I produce? Clean laundry. It doesn't have to be something big. Just get productive on something. Anything that gets, you start something and you complete it. Start something, you complete it. That's an action. You start something, you complete it. Okay, get in action, start something, and complete it. And then you start to feel better about yourself and you start to feel like, hey man, I'm doing stuff. I'm actually being productive. That's essential. Number 8, create a small win. When you are feeling like you're losing or feeling like things are tough, you're having a tough time, you're in a slump, you're like, damn, man, I'm in a slump. I'm losing over here, I'm losing over there, I'm in a slump. How do you get out? Create small wins. You making your bed is a small win. You're like, hey, I'm going to wake up tomorrow and I'm going to make my bed. And you got in action and you made the bed. It's a win. Look, every morning we have a meeting in my office and we talk about wins. Doesn't matter what the wins is. There's always a win. Why? Because it creates forward progress, motion. We got something to celebrate. Something good happened. When I find money on the floor, right, I pick it up, I'm like, hey, I'm a money magnet, yes. Dude, why am I celebrating a penny? Because wins creates more wins. Wins create more wins. You ever seen a team go on a winning streak? Why do you think streaks happen? Because winning creates more winning. The more you win, the more you want to win more. You understand? That's why you have to recognize these little wins. Hey, if I got up and made my bed and that was a win, what else can I do? What else can I do that's going to take my mind off of this situation, these tough things I'm dealing with, and go create more wins? The small wins will grow into bigger wins, right? Winning is important in life because losing is what stops people. Dude, when somebody has too many losses, too many failures, they're like, damn, I don't want to do that anymore, right? Who wants to keep losing? If somebody keeps losing over and over, they're going to stop. Like, damn, man, maybe this thing ain't for me. Maybe I'm not supposed to be doing this because I keep failing. I keep losing. So whenever you have adversity and you're dealing with something, you're dealing with losses, get some wins however you can. Take those little wins. Take them. They all contribute to the forward motion. So a few years ago, I was coaching youth soccer, right? My son's playing on the team. I'm coaching. First year, we played 10 games. And guess how many games we won? Big fat 0. I played soccer in high school, played a little bit in college. In high school, dude, we went to a nationwide tournament. We came in 3rd place, but we got a trophy. But we played some tough teams, man. But it was like, hey, at least I got a trophy. We played hard. We placed. It was a nationwide tournament. So we did good. But man, my kids' first year playing soccer, we lost every game. Dude, as we kept losing, some of the kids quit. It was brutal. I needed to create some wins. It was tough, man. And so I'm like, okay, the next season, we gotta get things tight. We gotta get things right. We gotta create some wins. So next season, we went out and we started to kick ass. We started to win. We started to play better as a team. We helped them adjust their attitude, do all of those things. We got them in action, right? And we had a winning season. Next season, after that, we had another winning season. So these small wins accumulate. We went from being a losing team, didn't win one game, we lost every single game. Dude, it was tough. It was because I hate to lose. I love to win. I hate to lose. How am I losing? And I'll be there yelling. I'm yelling. I get very loud when I'm watching soccer. So create those small wins because those small wins are all going to add up. Number 9, very, very vital step. Put the picture in the future. So what do I mean by that? Create the future lesson that you're going to share about what you're going through right now. So I've had to deal with tough times. Whenever I had a tough time, man, and we're going through tough things, one of the ways I just try to laugh about it is I'm like, oh man, this is going to be a great story someday. It feels crappy right now, but this will be a great story someday to help somebody. And then I would do this exercise. And I would imagine myself talking to people and saying what I did to overcome that circumstance I was facing at that time. And whatever I said in that talk, in my mind, I put that picture of me already overcome it in the future, whatever it is, I would say in that talk of how I overcame it, that became what I would do. I use my picture I created in the future to guide me on what I was going to be doing in the present. I had to hold that image of me overcoming it. That picture, that future picture is what I was putting out there. So, look, the importance of putting things in the future is like when you put that into the future, it's like a hook. You're sending a hook into the future or a magnet, and that magnet is going to pull you forward. So whenever somebody's having adversity, a tough issue, suffering losses, your attention, your mental attention gets stuck back on the incident that happened. You had something negative happen to you. You can't overcome it or you're dealing with it. And so you're not entirely present. Some of your attention is still back on the thing that happened. How do I get my attention from that, boom, into the present and get my attention focused on the future? Remember, I talked about writing my goals. So I'm trying to focus on the future. But beyond the writing the goals, I got to put pictures. I got to see it. I got to put this picture, this desirable picture into the future, and that's going to pull me forward. When my brother died, the thing that helped me was I thought about how I would share his story of him being a great person, a great brother, a kind person, a loving person. I would share his story to other people who maybe has suffered similar losses. And I thought, hey, because these people are going through that trauma of that loss, of losing a sibling, especially at a young age, I could be able to help them because I could relate to them. And so I would put that picture out there, and that helped me commemorate my brother. It helped me realize that there were things that I would be able to share about him with other people, and that made me feel better about the adversity I was dealing with in dealing with his passing. So that picture was out there. During the war in Liberia, grew up in a West African country. When I was growing up as a kid, West Africa had a lot of wars going on in multiple countries. So we go in this one country, a civil war happens. People shooting in the streets. I saw people killed in front of me. So when you're sitting there or you're lying on the floor, because when bullets are flying back and forth, you have to lie down on the floor so that you don't get hit by stray bullets, right? Just random bullets flying around. So the thing I would do to get my attention off the gunshots going by would be, I would start imagining being somewhere else. I would imagine, and I would always imagine being in America. I'm like, man, at some point in the future, I want to be in America. I'm going to be eating cheeseburgers, hot dogs. That's when dude, this bullet's flying over me, man. That's the only way I could cope with that situation. I had to think about cheeseburgers and hot dogs and watching TV and all these different things. You've got to do the same thing. So this is what I call being a mind ninja. It's like you being a ninja, using your mind to pull you forward so that you're not constantly sitting in adversity you're dealing with right now. So use that trick. Picture in the future. Put the picture in the future so that it propels you to move forward. Number 10, get around positive people. If you're in a negative environment, right, or you're with people that's not going anywhere, you gotta get around some positive people. I had a good friend of mine. When I was a kid, I came to America for 2 years and I went back to Africa. My best friend in America was a kid. He took me under his wing. I came here from Africa. I didn't know a lot of stuff. So he took me under his wing and he would kids would make fun of me for how I talked, and he would defend me, right? And so that kid, I went back to Africa and I lost touch with him. But when I came back to America, I found out what happened to him. So he had encountered some adversity in his life, and he ended up getting around the wrong people. And he ended up getting around the wrong people, and one day they shot and killed somebody. And he ended up going to jail for that. My best friend from when I was a kid, in our class picture, he and I standing next to each other. My best friend from my 2 years of coming to America, that guy is in prison because he was just around the wrong people, negative people. When you're going through adversity and bad things are happening, you suffer some losses, positive people will help uplift you, right? You'll see progress they're making, moving forward. You get around that, right, and get influenced by it. And if you don't know a lot of positive people, like you're in a situation where you just don't know a lot of positive people, a lot of bad things, negative things around you, look online for positivity. Watch videos on positive. Come back to this video and watch this video again. So you have to utilize whatever tool you have available to get around positive people. Even if all you're doing is just watching positivity, inspiration, things like that, so that you're not stuck in your current and present circumstance. Very key to you moving forward. So the last bonus thing you can do is to share. Plan to share your story. You share your story of overcoming something. Once you've overcome this adversity, share it with other people because it is going to help them. So I believe in you, and that's why I want to end with that point, because I believe you will overcome this situation you're facing, whatever adversity you're going through, and that you will be in the position to share that story with other people. And it will impact them and get them through whatever it is they're facing at that time. And also, if you like this video, share it with somebody you know. Subscribe to this channel and we'll deliver more content like this to you. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope this helps you in some way. Leave me a comment, send me a message. Let me know if this helped you in any way at all on this subject, how to overcome adversity. But what I really want you to do is to do these things. I want you to overcome adversity. I want you to win. And I want you to share your story with other people so that impacts them as well. Thanks for watching.